He's running here. You can tell that the way he hits is spraying.
See that one?
Funny.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, we got a buck, and I guess this is a Kawasaki instead of a truck. But anyway, I'm sporting my track and pajama pants today, and my Team Dawn shirt today. A friend of mine's wife is going through cancer, and got this shirt to support her. But anyway, today we do have a buck in the back of the Kawasaki here. The hunter here, Dave, had shot the deer last night. He'll tell you a little bit about the hunt and then the process of the wait and what happened today.
Yep. So early yesterday morning, about 7 o'clock, I rattled, and shortly after that, 7:05 or so, this buck shows up at 30 yards looking straight at me, and he eventually tries to get my wind, and he stopped behind a tree, and I had a 28-yard broadside shot, shooting a 2-inch expandable Schwacker. And when I shot him, his reaction was to run, and the visual in my head was a gash about that big, but in my mind it was on the side I shot, but come to find out it was on the opposite side. In my mind, it's 6 inches, probably 4 or 5 inches farther back than I'd want it to be. Like, it's around the liver and the gut area.
Yeah, so when you got hold of me, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Indicated it was liver gut. And even the picture, there was a little bit of corn matter in the blood, and it was dark blood like liver. So we automatically, when we talked, we was going to wait 24 hours coming the next day.
Yep.
So your weight, tell them about the weight.
So the weight's the toughest part. Like Ron said, the weight. Ron tracked a deer with DO Force in 2013, and it was the weight. That one wasn't as bad, but this one, I knew what the deer was, and we went. I waited an hour, got down, checked the blood. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. I was like, well, I need to do something to preoccupy myself. Everybody gave me suggestions. Go do this, go track it in a couple hours. But I was like, I'll go pick up the boy from daycare. That'll keep me from tracking. It's like, all right, now we need to go to the gym to get away from here completely. So we went to the gym, and we got home about 2:30, and it's still, I'm like, okay, he goes down for a nap. We're not going to go track it. I know I'm not leaving the house now. Nobody else is here.
So he stayed very disciplined. He even had a buddy say something about bringing a thermal out and doing it last night with a thermal. You sat out on your porch. You heard the coyotes last night. You were looking through the sky for buzzards.
Oh, yeah. Driving to the gym, we saw a buzzard about where he was. I don't know if it's really related, but it was pretty close. And then, the coyotes last night was a disheartening part. I'm like, oh, shoot. Because it was 9, 10 o'clock, and I opened the back door and just stood there for a minute. And as soon as I opened it, it was instantly yips and howls. But if we bumped him yesterday, I mean, we may not be here doing this part. So
we've talked about the hindsight. It's always easy at hindsight, and what we deal with. We convert about what me and Gary's seeing this time of year with the bucks rutted up, and you know how strong they are and hard to kill.
Yep.
Is a lot of guys are calling us. They're getting down after the shot. 2 hours after the shot, they're jumping the deer 100, 150 yards in, and it's a whole different game.
Yep.
And as you said, the caliber of this deer, you didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here looking at it. You're going to see the antlers here in just a second, and it's like a very impressive deer. But he played the game right and disciplined. It could have went the other way, like you said. And it didn't.
Yeah.
The deer went. How far did the track go?
I'd say 200-ish, right around in there. Yeah. But he climbed a hill steep enough that we didn't want to do it.
Yeah. So there's a narrow vertical hill that you guys went up. I mean, these deer are super tough, and this is a testament to this deer. He was mortally wounded and pretty much died on the run. I guess when he piled up, slid down the hill, and the leaves kind of covered him up. It's still hard to see him, even though he's kind of in the open.
Yeah, whenever Gary looks back at me, and I'm like, I think I've done this to people before with my dog. So I'm like, yep, there's probably a deer. And then sure enough, it took me a while, but he was there. So.
Yeah, and we won't talk about how you guys punked me at the end. There's paybacks for that. But anyway, Dave, go ahead and show everybody the antlers on this deer.
He's got his triple on his left and his split on his right. So a lot of trail cam pictures. He showed up last year about the same time as a probably 3-year-old last year.
So it was a sleepless night, but then, you know, a nightmare,
Oh.
but then the dream's here right here in your hands now. It all worked out.
Yeah, it did. It was waking up every couple hours, and then finally at 3, I'm like, yep, I'll get up and I'll just hang out. And
Yeah.
I did pretty good.
Well, Dave, I appreciate you giving us a call, man.
Yep.
It's always a good time with you, and it's you know, it all paid off right here.
Jeweled it off.
Awesome.
It was pretty sweet seeing it. Yeah.
All right, well, just a story to go. Maybe we'll find some more today. Stay tuned.